I'm doing today, I'm fishing with popping cork. I like the Four Horsemen skinny ones, kind of like you saw in the video. Tide's high, just changed about 30 minutes ago, it's trying to come out. The northeast wind's kind of keeping it from turning. You can look at the crab pots and see them still with the current pushing. They haven't swung them back around quite yet, so it's starting to come out of these little creek mouths. What I'm doing is I'm just targeting little creek mouths. I put the trolling motor down and I just go down the bank and I fish and I hit the creek mouths, and then I go down to the next one, hit the next creek mouth, and fish all the grass edges and points in between the creek mouths. I've already been by all this bank at low tide, so I kind of know what it looks like, where there's oysters, where there's not oysters, what I thought would be better probability to catch trout. It was like a 7.5, 7.8 tide. I think it got a little bit higher with that northeast wind blowing in a little more water. So I'm thinking we're not gonna really catch any reds for about 2 more hours probably. The flats still have water in them. Once those get dry, tide starts coming out a little bit more, then they start leaving, they start coming out staging. So I got a feeling as I get about halfway down this bank that I'm fishing, that's when I'll probably start picking up some reds. And if I take note of what time I start catching reds, then I can come back and fish this whole other area right here, same tide, same time. My Simrad puts on there, it has a tide graph, so does my watch, but it tells you like if it's a 2.5 foot, if it's going out and it's 3.6 or 5.4 or whatever, I make notes of that stuff. So I always try to hit them where I'm catching them. If I'm catching them at like 4.5 feet, then I make a note of it, and then I come back and I fish all the creeks down that bank that look good to me, and the live oysters and the points when the tide says 4.5. There's not a coincidence that the fish are there. You just got to figure out why they're there, when they're there, and then the way the tide works here, it changes basically a foot an hour. Every hour on a rising tide, it rises at least a foot, maybe more. Like today, when it's falling out, it's going to fall more than a foot every single hour until dead low tide, and then it starts going up a foot every hour. So a lot of these places are only good for maybe 1.5 hours, 2 hours. Some of them are only good for 45 minutes. But you got to figure that out. Then you got to choose which ones you want to hit at that time, the ones that hold more fish.